Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, October the 8th. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap up, and it is NFP Day. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Okay, we've got the NFP Day happening, so let's see. We've got the pound up 76 pips over the open for the week right now, 94 pips off the bottom, and 33 pips off the high. Bottom or low, that is. Very interesting here. We have the opening range for the week. You can see we broke above that level right around the 3640 level, and then the 3641.8 was the yearly open, which we jumped above. And as you can see, the pound struggling, it got pushed back down, also broke above the previous day's high. And we're still in the opening range for the year. And we're above the opening range for the month. And so this is what, after 1 week of trading this month, this is where we are. So you can see here on the monthly chart where we are with respect to the year. Monthly, we're 154 pips above the open, 12 pips above the open for the day, and you can see the range is clocking in right around 75 pips. The inside bar we broke into the inside bar for the week and the inside bar for the month. So once again, here at 3707 and 3607 and 3601, we actually broke below those two lines. There were some pips to be made. And looking at the range for the day, now this is very, very strange. This is NFP day, and we don't even have any pair over 100 pips in range. The closest one is the pound New Zealand, the new beast, at 91. I mean, the pound yen's only 70. What is going on? The ranges are definitely tightening up. Looking here at the buy zone, you can see once again the pivot point today was between the buy zone and the short zone, so no real bias. Price did hit the pivot as to be expected. And as far as the rats, the red rats definitely feasted here during NFP. The psychological 50 line, you can see a short there would have paid off. Chances are, though, you may have gotten suckered as price was coming back up. But usually, if you see this, it was only 7 pips away. You wouldn't want to take this trade. You want to see if it's going to break this high. And since it failed, then you could just trade to the short side. Taking a look at the pivot plan, the pivot trading plan here, near the pivot, paid off today, bias long, you see what happened. And bias near R1, bias short, you can see once again, shorting at 36.44 would have paid off to the pivot traders. And we still have a couple of missed pivots here, one from this month, 35.20, and one from last month at 36 or 37.61. And we are in the previous day's upper wick zone. We broke out a couple of times here. Actually, this wasn't a breakout. It started outside the wick zone. Maybe if we went down to M15. Yeah, there wasn't any breaks there. Maybe we have to go all the way down to M1. And you can see the breaks there. Okay, looking at the ranges here for the week. So far, we have 126 pip range. Not even close to average for the last 12 weeks. High minus previous high, no breakout. Previous low minus low, no breakout. So this week is an inside bar. High minus the close at the moment, 31 pips. So the red rats feasted, and close minus the low, 96. The green rats feasted. So once again, trading off of the weekly high and low rat zones paid off. And remember that the rat zone is now 15 pips because of the range is not as great as it used to be. So we had to make an adjustment. Let's see here. Looking at our psychological lines, as opposed to these are spaced every 25 pips, as opposed to the sweet spots or with the Walmart lines every 10 pips. You can see price, what price did this hour at the daily open. It shot back up. Good for about 12 pips if you took that crossover. And if you looked at the video from earlier, and we had that 1 minute chart up on the pound, and we were calling this a return bar, and you can see that the price did return to it and then some. So that's just something out of observation, noticing that those big bars like that, price will return to the open more times than not. So you have to trade what you see. In fact, I was dinking around on some other trading forums, and I saw a guy said, trade what you see, not what you think. It's like, I wonder how many people might think that that's me using a different handle. I'm surprised somebody hasn't accused him. But you can see here we're at the top of the hour. Price is moving up. And for those just tuning in, these magenta lines, that's an outside bar, and the blue lines here are inside bar. And this green line, that is just the price from the open of the hour to the current close. So you can see, are we above or below the hourly open? Just had a 3-ball put in right here. For those of you who like to use the semaphore indicators. So it looks like we're getting near the upper rat zone. So remember now, these numbers, instead of being 20 or below, have to be 15 or below for rat trades on the pound. And just to bring your attention to the TRO, dollar TRO time indicator. Oh, if you wonder why I put the dollar there, so it pops up when the navigator shows the indicators, it just puts it near the top so it's easier to find. So it says after October, our averages diverge, with the short term thus making the seasonal tendencies less concise and less reliable during this time. So it's telling us not to consider seasonal tendencies at this time. So it's kind of interesting, looking at what's going on here during the last trading day of the week plus NFP day, that the range is so tight. So it almost looks like somebody just might be clearing the books, because you can see here right before NFP things kind of got jammed up. And if we put this out to the hourly, you can see here once again we're kind of in a range from right about here to about here. And it did, break out to the bottom and the top, drawing the lines right across those two balls. Oh, and let me just, for some of those traders who haven't used the 3-level ZZ, there is the TRO mods. If you set this to true, Walmart said it almost looks like a chart on drugs. Did I not set that to true? Oh, I know why. Everything was turned to false in this particular version. Let me see if I have it on another screen. Maybe this one. Whoops. That's the sweet spots. We want the 3-level. Okay, so you see where all these are set to true. If you turn the TRO modifications on by setting that to true, you get this. And some of the interesting aspects are, it tells you like the fib retraces here for the 3-ball. Then it tells you the, and I think also the 1-ball. And then down here, it tells you how many bars ago the semaphores were put in, so the upper and the lower. So you can see here we're putting in a new one. 29 bars ago we put in the lower one. So you can turn some of these on or off, like all the fib lines, the trend lines here. So you can see here from 3-ball to 3-ball, there's a trend from 1-ball to 1-ball. From the last two highs here, 3-ball to 1-ball, 1-ball to 1-ball, and then down here 3-ball to 3-ball. So you can see if you're like those things. And I think there's like there's this middle trend here. It's been so long since I even looked at some of these. Then you've got your horizontal support resistance in blue and red. And so that's just something if you want to play with the indicator and see what each one of those does. Turn them on one at a time, and then you can play with it. But as you can see, I don't really use most of that anymore. I've consolidated it and have this display up here, so I know short bias 1 bar ago, the range between here and here is 16, and the distance from the close to the last semaphore is here in real time. So actually we hit the 41, which, if you remember, is the yearly open. So we're flirting around that yearly open once again. So, fellow traders, I hope you had a profitable NFP day and a profitable week. And I hope you have a fun and safe weekend. And when you come back to your trading platform, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.